Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1984 Detroit Tigers season replay. We've already played one game today, so we're going to take a look here at the end of the month of June. This is our summary video where we'll take a look at the standings and the league leaders so far this season through the month of June. And let's begin with a quick summary of how the Tigers have played this month. I think coming out of May, I didn't have as much hope for our team. We lost Bert Blyleven and we lost Jack Morris. We lost Lou Whitaker in the month. And I was thinking that by the time we get to the All-Star break, we might be sellers. And yet we pieced together enough of a rotation that it kept us not only in the hunt, but gave us the best record in the American League. We finished the month of June with an 18-9 record. I mean, it technically just, basically one game better than May. But I still feel like that is a big win for us. Keeping the pace in the American League East. You'll see it momentarily here when we look at the standings that we've gained some ground. We did lose today's game. If you haven't watched it yet, spoiler alert, we lost 7-4. Gave up a couple of home runs to Oakland A's early on, and we were really pretty much out of it. But, all in all, a good month. We only had 3 days off. So we played almost every single day. We've managed our tired players well. We managed our bullpen as well as we could, and we've made some significant trades. We picked up Willie Wilson, who is already paying dividends. In the 3 games that he has been on the team, he's got 5 extra base hits and 2 stolen bases. So he's been fantastic. And then we've used Tom Hankey only once in the 3-game series versus the A's, and he got the save in a 2-inning save situation in yesterday's game. So I feel like we've tightened things up as needed. We will get Lou Whitaker back, as I clicked on him here, in 23 days. So before the end of July, before the trade deadline, we will have Lou Whitaker back in the lineup from his injury. And Bert Blyleven is done for the year. So we still have a little bit of work to do. If you look really quick at our lineup, you'll see that George Brett's currently tired. But Rob Wolfong has done a great job. He had a home run today. Been really good at second base. And, Terry Kennedy has been an unsung hero. Ken Smith has done more than his share, leading the team with runs scored and RBI. So we have a lot of positives. I think Glenn Wilson has been a bit of a disappointment, although he's showed some power lately. Kirk Gibson has dipped a little bit, although he's shown some power. And, of course, Lance Parrish has been just an absolute dismal season for him, offering us almost nothing. So, from a lineup perspective, we get Whitaker back. I don't see a need to do anything else with our offense. And then our rotation is really suspect. I mean, we do not have anybody pitching well at all right now. No one we can rely on. Petrie hasn't had a win in forever. Everybody else is walking more than they're striking out. Jack Morris is a free agent at the end of the year. So we either have to get our act together and have Morris start pitching well, or we got to trade him, because we're going to lose him at the end of the year. We cannot pay everybody. Now, if we win the World Series, then I might go ahead and just spring for an extended contract for Jack Morris. But I don't want to sign him to a long-term deal if he's on the decline, which he looks like he is. Plus, he got injured this year for a month. So our bullpen is excellent now. I have no problem with who we have. These are the players we're going with. I mean, Frank LaCourte, who would have thought that he would be so integral to our bullpen is shoring it up in the multiple long relief role. So, I feel really good about our bullpen. That might be our best that we have to offer for our team is our bullpen arms. Okay, let's look at the standings real quick. We might take a look at a couple of teams. So here's the Tigers. As you can see here, we have a 3.5 game lead over New York and 4.5 over Boston. They both gained a game when we lost today. That's crap. Everybody else is out of it. You can just consider them toast. I mean, Baltimore's under 500. Toronto, they made a run for it for about 2 weeks, and then that was all they had to offer. Seattle has a 2-game lead over Chicago. Seattle's jumped back ahead. Chicago is in first place for about a week and a half. California's still in it. Oakland is technically still in it. Everybody else, I think you can count them out. Now, the Tigers specifically, I mean, we are right at the league batting average at 268. We have the second most home runs in our division. We now have Willie Wilson, so we're going to improve in speed. And we have the best team ERA in the American League. So these are all important factors for our success for the second half of the season. Again, we get Whitaker back. We make a trade for a starter. And I think, there's no reason why we can't be there come playoff time. I don't know if there's any teams here we want to take a look at. I mean, none of these, we haven't played all the teams in the West yet, so there's still, there's still a couple of teams that we are not familiar with because we haven't played them. We'll get used to them when we get around to it. I guess let's go ahead and take a look at the National League. Los Angeles, the best record in baseball. They're 58-23, 13 games up on the Padres. Cincinnati has fallen to 14 back. I mean, this division is over. A 270 batting average in the National League is amazing. They only have 39 home runs. The National League, nobody hits home runs but the Cubbies. And I guess the Giants. Everybody steals. And the Dodgers' team ERA is 2.26. I mean, that's incredible. And Cincinnati is 2.85, and yet they're 14 games back already. I mean, that's insane. Wow. And Philadelphia is 5.5 up on the Mets. The Mets have just destroyed their team with dumb signings and dumb trades. This whole division is kind of a mess right now. Now, Philadelphia does have a couple injuries to their rotation, so that will give maybe New York and even Chicago a chance to get back in it if Chicago can keep showing their power at Wrigley Field. But otherwise, there's really not much more to say about the National League. A lot of these teams are just toast, and I'm curious to see who is going to be dealing some of their players in the month of July. All right, let's move on and take a look at the league leaders. That sounds like fun, right? Here we go, American League leaders. We'll do all the offensive categories. We'll sprinkle in the defense, and then we'll look at the pitchers after that. And if you're new to this, we only do the American League. The National League, we just take a look at the 4 main categories. So, okay, so yeah, I mean, Boston is still pounding out the hits. They have 4 batters in the top 10, and the league leader is Marty Barrett, batting .343. 98 hits in 68 games. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's 105 because I screwed up the initials there. That's my bad. Okay, Lachelle Tarver, Terry Poole, Harold Reynolds, Wade Boggs. There's Willie Wilson combined with Kansas City, Rod Allen, Clint Hurdle, Brian Harper, and Willie Randolph rounding it out. There are a total of 15 batters still batting over 300. That's impressive. George Brett making the list at 291. He must have had a couple hits in today's game that I don't remember. That's right, he did have a double today. So he's batting 291. That's good to see. Okay, that's your batting average leaders. Whoops. Who's leading in the most at-bats? Yeah, no Tigers, because of Whitaker being injured. He would have been there. But it's Paul Molitor of the Angels. Of course, was traded over to California. And doubles. Willie Wilson's got 20, thanks to his 4 with the Tigers. Terry Kennedy has 18. Tommy here, by the way, I'm sorry, is the #1 doubles leader right now with 28 for the Orioles. And George Brett's got 15. So I mean, there were not a lot of doubles going on when 15 is in the top 25 at the halfway point of the season. Okay, next up, we'll take a look at who's grounding into the most double plays. George Brett has 10, but Jimmy Rice has 19. Extra base hits in total. Darryl Sconiers of the Angels, followed by teammate Brian Harper, 36 and 34. Terry Kennedy leading our team in extra base hits, and he's not even a full-time player. Maybe I should change that up, huh? Maybe I'm doing the right thing by making him part-time. Since we're right here, let's go ahead and take a look at all the fielding average leaders for the American League. Catcher is Ron Hassey of the Yankees, followed by Terry Kennedy. So Kennedy does qualify for a Gold Glove. He does not qualify for a batting title. But at least he's played enough games to qualify defensively. First base is, what? A three-way tie. Cecil Fielder, one of the worst defensive first basemen of all time, is tied with Pete O'Brien and Jim Traber. I find that all of that hard to believe. But there's not a lot of variance here in the top, let's say, top 11. Fred McGriff is not great, and Craig Kasich is well below average. At second base, we have Randy Reddy at a 988 fielding percentage. And Lou Whitaker, I think it won't be too long, and he won't qualify. But he's in the middle of the pack, which is bad for him. Third base, hey, take a look at George Brett. He has come a long way. Now, he has made a couple errors recently, but overall, at 932, fielding percentage at third puts him right in the middle of the pack. Gary Cooper of the Twins has a 966, and Rance Mulliniks of Kansas City is number 2. Shortstop, hey, it's Alan Trammell leading at short with a 989 fielding percentage. Bobby Bonner, very good defensively, although he's made a couple errors. Oh, look at that. Ozzie Smith is 5th. That seems impossible. Gary Templeton, another good defensive shortstop. Dickey. Robin Yount. Odie Davis, way down the list at 940. Okay, we're looking at left field. Oh, okay, Gibby still has the lead. Gibby made an error today. And I think I mentioned in today's game that he was leading the left fielders, and that error happened. I didn't know if that was going to lower him in the standings here. But you know what? He's still number 1. And that's amazing because he is not, obviously we talk about it all the time, not a great defensive left fielder. Neither is Ron Kittle, for that matter. Neither is Jim Rice. Yeah, so there's a lot of defensive liabilities here in left field, and maybe that's why Kirk Gibson has rose to the top, because there's just not a lot of competition for greatness. Center field, well, we got rid of Chet Lemon, who is now playing every day for Kansas City. Willie Wilson is our center fielder, who's at a 983. Kevin Bass got a lot of the outfield PT when we got sick of Chet Lemon, who's 5 for 12 as a Royal now, batting .417 after batting .178. Unbelievable. Okay. Daniel Fernandez, as an 18-year-old, leads. Only 51 games played. This game is so dumb. Okay, right field, Alan Cockrell at 994. Terry Poole right behind him. Glenn Wilson, somewhat in the middle of the pack with a 986. Very solid. Games played. Paul Molitor's played 82 games, so he must be a +1 since his trade from Milwaukee to the Angels. Like they were one game behind whatever Milwaukee was at, so he could get 163 games this year if he continues to play every game. Ken Smith, yeah, he's only missed 2 games for us this year, including yesterday's game. We took him out. Try to keep him healthy as much as we can. Who's leading in hits? Rod Allen has 109. Come on. There's Molitor, Barrett, Lachelle Tarver, Harold Reynolds, Brian Harper, and Willie Wilson, followed by Wade Boggs, Deion James, and Big Daddy. Okay. And George Brett's on the list, which is impressive because he's missed probably 10 games already. Who has been hit by pitch the most? Rusty McNeely. No Tigers on the list. Home runs. This is what you want to see. Kevin Mitchell, he had the big blast today, giving him 23. Darryl Sconyers has 21. Kenny Smith, third with 18. So, you know, this era of baseball, every year there was like one player who just blasted it, and then everybody else was kind of mediocre. It does kind of annoy me, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems weird that after half a season, the 25th player only has 12, right? So you double that up, and you know, the 25th player might only hit 24 home runs. Kevin Mitchell maybe will hit in the 40s. Maybe Darryl Sconyers will. I do expect Ken Smith to hit another 18, you know. If he doesn't do that, I don't know where we'll be. Greg Brock with 13. I can't imagine him getting much more than 20. But I guess we'll see. Okay, there we go. Intentional walks? Question mark? Wade Bogg has 5. That makes sense. Kevin Mitchell, the home run leader, has 4. And we just have some schlubs. All right. On base percentage? Yeah, this is important. Kenny Smith, he's walking a lot. He's getting on base. He's got a 397. Terry Poole has a 401. Wade Boggs. Alvin Davis. Is he a rookie? Yeah, he's essentially a rookie. He is a rookie. And he's got a 398 on base percentage. There's Kenny Smith. He's walked almost 60 times. 78 hits. So he is, yeah, I mean, he's been as advertised. Let's take a look at outfield assists. We know Kirk Gibson's going to be there. He's got 4. That's crazy. Ruben Amaro, Vaughn Hayes, and Rusty McNeely all have 8. OPS, it's a lot of the same, right? Ken Smith at 893, Kevin Mitchell at 949. That's the only Tiger represented. Plate appearances is Paul Molitor. I don't care about range. RBI. Yeah, Kevin Mitchell's got 82 RBI in, 81 games? So that is pretty damn good. Kenny Smith is 12th with 55. Glenn Wilson has 50. Yeah, runners thrown out. We'll take a look at the catchers here. So, yeah, we've really fallen off the pace here. Terry Kennedy came out of the gate pretty much gunning everybody down. John Tamargo of the Twins has thrown out 25. And that's just a numbers game because he's got a terrible arm. So, yeah, he's had 85 stolen base attempts this year against him. Terry Kennedy has had 51. So he's just not getting the opportunity. Lance Parrish has thrown out 5 for what it's worth. What are the percentages, you might ask? Ron Hasse, 34.5%. Donnie Scott of Texas. He is their everyday player for the most part. Ray, and there's Terry Kennedy. So, oh my gosh, Ray Stevens, 15.9%, and he's got an 81 arm. So what's the contributing factor? Is it his fielding rating of 66? How many errors has he made? Only 8. I don't know. I'll never understand why the ratings are the way they are and how they are used. Okay, runs scored. Dickie Schofield has 65. His teammate Harold Reynolds is number 2. Kenny Smith is number 4 with 59. Gibby's right up there, and Willie Wilson, he's going to rocket to the top if he keeps getting on base at the rate he is already. Let's take a look at sacrifice hits. Dougie Baker's got 5. We do drop it like it's hot from time to time. Next up is sac flies. Don Slaught has 10. Kenny Smith has 6. At one point he was, I guess maybe in April or maybe through May, he was number 1. Everybody's participating on the Tigers. Good job. Let's take a look at, I don't really care about slugging all that much. Steals, there we go. So Willie Wilson is number 1 in stolen bases with 36. He's 2 out of 3 since he joined our team. And Kirk Gibson's got 19. He's on pace to have a career high. I don't know if he'll get there, though, because his speed has dropped from 88 to 85, and suddenly he's getting caught at an alarming rate. So I don't know if we're going to keep risking it with him. But other than those two guys, we've got nobody in our everyday lineup that's going to, be successful at a pace that we need it to be. Mike Brewer has not been thrown out. He's 10 for 10. Bob Brower is 14 for 14. What? That's crazy. All right. Strikeouts. Who's striking out the most? Denny Gonzalez, the leadoff hitter for Toronto. Rookie, has 80. Ken Smith, yeah, he's a 3 true outcome guy. Walk, strikeout, or home run. And he's got 65. Strikeout percentage. Okay, Ray Smith, 3.4% of the time. George Brett's got 11.1. Willie Wilson, 11.5. You'd think we'd have more people in the strikeout percent category because we hit and run so much, which means at least they put the ball in play. Total bases, y'all, it's Kevin Mitchell, 175. And Kenny Smith on there. I mean, a lot of these categories are so repetitive. They all kind of have the same results. Now, triples, Mike Fishlips has 7. That's weird. Well, he had 7 last year. He had 9 home runs last year for Minnesota. He's got zilch this year. The Metrodome, not conducive to home runs. We haven't played there yet this year, I don't think. And Gibby's got 3 leading our team. Here we go. Walks. Oh, wow. Ken Smith is leading in walks. I would not have guessed that. I knew he walked a lot. I did not know he'd be among the league leaders. That's cool. All right. Okay, now let's just go back through and look at the pitching categories. We'll wrap this puppy up. Complete games. Mike Witt has 5. Bert is hurt. ERA, of course. Last year's Cy Young Award winner, Teddy Higuera, 2.35. Dan Petrie is 5th at 330, but he's just been so terrible. Technically, Bert Blyleven still qualifies. Brian Kelly, Jack Morris. So we've got 3/5 of our rotation Our active rotation is in the top 25. So I wonder if Higuera is going to win back-to-back again, this back-to-back Cy Young Award, Cy Young Awards. It looks like he might. He did get injured though, didn't he? Yeah, he missed a month. Okay. Anyway, that should nullify him. All right. What else we got here? Games pitched. Dave Smith has 37. Comby's got 31. The Creeper at 28. Tom Hankey, welcome to the club. Gumpy Gumpert, 24. And the mother, Dave Rucker, 24. We've got nicknames for all of our relievers except for Dave Smith. We should just nickname him Bluey. And Tom Hankey's a Terminator. That was his nickname in real life. Okay. Okay, who's getting the most double plays induced? Oh, wow. Brian Kelly's got 13. John Denny for Cleveland has 21. All right. Not an important category, but I was just curious. Who's hitting the most batters? Howard Bailey. He's got a bullseye right on your ear hole. He's hit 6 batters. All right. Home runs allowed. So this is going to be the guy from Cleveland. Larry McCall's giving up 30 home runs. Oh, man. Howard Bailey's giving up 20. And no Tigers on that list. Interesting. All right. Innings pitched. Floyd Bannister of Seattle has 137. Yeah, no Tigers on that list. Innings per game. Teddy Higuera, almost 8. Floyd, similar. No Tigers. I don't care about any of that. Quality starts. Floyd Bannister has 14. Otherwise, Dan Petrie and Burt have 10. That's not great. What else we got here? Saves, I guess. Tom Hankey won as a Tiger. He's got 20. Bruce Sutter with 19. Al Holland with 18. Dave Smith has 18. So there you go. Okay, and then shutouts. Mike Witt has 3. Burt Blyleven had 2. Jack Morris has 1. Not nearly as many shutouts in our 84 sim than there was in the 69 Seattle Pilots sim that we did. Okay, let's take a look here. Starts. I don't feel like there's any team that has a 4-man rotation. So I feel like this is all pretty even, really. Strikeouts pitched. Mark Langston has 128. I think he led the American League last year. Maybe it was Higuera. I'm not sure. J-Mo's got 76 despite missing a month. Strikeouts per 9. Yeah, Mark Langston's getting 1 per inning, and Jack almost has 1 per inning. In fact, Burt was okay too. But now, if you had a top 25, and, we could go to Baseball Reference and check it out. But I bet you the top 15 are probably all 9Ks or better, It's just a different ball game. All right. Walks per 9. Yeah, this is all horse shit. Bob Tewksbury, though, that's no joke. He's walked 6 batters. And that's kind of what he was like in real life. Maybe not to that degree of accuracy around the plate, but pitch to contact. Burt. Okay, and wins. This is the last one here. Oh, Mike Witt's got 10 wins. He is 10-3. And could very easily be a Cy Young candidate. A bunch of people with 9. I mean, we might not get any pitcher to 10 wins and yet still win the division. That's insane, right? I don't know how we do it. I don't know that if we have a single pitcher that will get there. Here's a National League leaders, just real quick. Tim Flannery batting .362. He's now on the Angels, so he won't be able to win the National League. Eventually, he won't qualify. Isn't often you see the batting title leader get traded to the American League. I think, was it Lonnie Smith or something like that? Or Willie McGee? Home runs, Eric Davis has 18. And he's also got 43 stolen bases. That is a deadly combination. Kirby Puckett of the Phillies is leading the NL with 54 RBI. And let's just get the major ones out of the way for pitching. ERA, wins, strikeouts, and saves. Okay, well, yeah, a lot of Dodgers on that list because of that 2.26 team ERA. The Dodgers have two 12-game winners. Also, Bruce Berenier is right there. Roger Clemens has 10. Good for him. Looks like he's finally, at age 21, he's already got his groove. Strikeouts pitched. 4 pitchers over 100, including Fernando Mania. He's got 120. And saves is the Phillies' Dave Shipinoff with 23. Is he injured right now? No. Lee Smith of the Cubs. And whatever. Okay. That is, I think, the extent of it for this edition of the end of June standings and league leaders summary. Just as a reminder, we do have the All-Star game coming up later on in the week. So we have a 4-game series versus Baltimore, which I'm just so sick of that team. And then we play Texas, which will be fun. That'll be at home. Then we have the All-Star break, which is like 4 days off for some of our players. We'll get our rotation in a correct order. And then we start the second half of the season, although tomorrow's the halfway point, technically. Oh, and then don't forget, on Sunday, which will be this game, Game 82, we're going to give away our prize in our giveaway for the 4 rookie cards. And then at the end of the month, we have the trade deadline. So I do anticipate making a trade for a starter. We have managed to save money. We can take on a rental even if we need to. A rental starting pitcher. I don't really know who's out there right now, but that'll be part of my second half analysis, is to find out if we can find a starting pitcher that can fit into our rotation. The only question is, like, who do we pull out? It would have to be Brian Kelly or Jeff Robinson. One of them would have to go back to the minors because they're not on major league contracts. So we could do that. Or we could move Dave Rozema to the bullpen and then just cut Frank LaCourte. So, I mean, there's all kinds of I got to figure it out. That's where we're at. We just got to figure it out and make it work for us. So, nonetheless, that's going to do it. I'm excited. Tomorrow's Game 81. We'll get to the halfway point and then move on to the second half of the season. As always, I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much. Like and or subscribe to the channel. And we will be back tomorrow with Game 81. Until then, everyone, have a great day.